What's excuse me happening, gang? What's going on out there in the world? Hopefully everyone had a good week. Hopefully everyone got to watch some great freaking hockey. Hopefully everyone got to enjoy a timepiece that they love. All that is good stuff. Speaking of timepieces that we love, anything going on out there? May I like my breakfast? We did the avocado toast, the rustic Tuscan bread, the homemade guac with an egg. Finished up my maple applewood sausages, and then I took I chopped up a sweet potato and nuked it for 1 minute and 30 seconds to soften it up a little bit. I cooked that down in a little bit of oil and a little bit of seasonings and some onion. And let the onion get crispy. So I kind of put that around the pan for a few minutes, threw it in the oven to finish off. Made just some baked sweet potatoes, basically. Covered them took them out and hit them with a little bit of maple syrup, cayenne, and some herbs to give it a little bit of sweet and savory, spicy kind of flavor. Serve those up with the ultimate breakfast tomatoes, obviously. Good morning, BW. BW's first. Actually, I think Johnny O left a comment yesterday, but it doesn't show up. It's weird how this thing works in StreamYard. It does not show up. But yes, so that was breakfast. What do you think? I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty tasty. I cannot complain. Had an interesting week. I did make an addition, a trade. You guys watched JJ's Watch Hangout on Tuesday night. You saw that I unboxed a new watch. And that new watch was the Oreo, the Planet Ocean GMT, sometimes called the black and white. I like the nickname the Oreo. So haven't seen the creamsicle lately. Yes, it's true. It's true. The creamsicle was traded in. So when I bought the creamsicle, I bought it at a really great price, and I thought, a month or wear it for a month or two, and I may be able to flip this thing and make a couple bucks on it. Well, I hadn't made a sale on it, but I was able to trade it in for more than I paid for it and get a very nice discount on this watch. These guys at Joyce's Jewelers really hooked me up. So I made money on the creamsicle. I saved money on the Oreo. I almost had to buy it. Plus, I got to be honest with you. I like this watch better. I like this colorway better. I found that the orange was sometimes those colorful watches seem like a better idea than they are. And it's not that it's a bad watch by any stretch of the imagination, because it is not. It is a great watch. But there are advantages to the Oreo. That being the black and white bezel. That being the polished Arabics versus the orange. You get a little bit more of the shiny factor that I like. I like the shiny bits. We know that. It's a little bit bigger watch in that it's thicker, about 1 millimeter thicker than the creamsicle, which I don't mind. It is an amazing piece. It really, really is an amazing watch. It fits well on my 7.5-inch wrist. You can see They say 17.1. I think I measured it at 17.3 when I did my measurements on it. It is a big chunky monkey, but I like it. Had a half link. The black, yeah. So the thickness of the Oreo is about 1 millimeter thicker for the GMT complication. It is, and yeah, the black and white is just, it's just more versatile, and it's kind of cool. It's like a GMT master on steroids. You know, it's 3.5 millimeters wider. It's 4 millimeters thicker. It's black and white, so there's no bad contrasting colors. It fits my wrist. It has a helium escape valve. It has an exhibition case back. It has all the things that I love, and it's got a cool nickname. Who doesn't like the Oreo? Johnson EDC. Good morning, sir. Yeah, I mean, it's got a great nickname on top of all that other stuff. It has a great nickname. In fact, I think what we're going to do here, we may have somebody explain this watch to us here in a second. Hold on. We have videos. Where is it? There it is. Well, we'll do a quick showy video first. And then we'll get, oh, geez. That is not what I wanted to do. Sorry, YouTube's being a pain. Let me get over here. There we go. Let me welcome Brian. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Mark.
How are you?
You know what I like about your show?
You never know what big, thick, chunky watch with extra crowns I'm going to show.
No, I always know there's going to be some big, thick watch with extra crowns. But I can, it says it's starting at 10 o'clock.
It always starts at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I can go to the bathroom. I can go get my cup of coffee. I can come back and you're done with all the breakfast shit because I'm still on my French breakfast diet. And then the watch start. Yeah, and then the watch stuff starts,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So before you get into this video about this fine watch,
yes,
I've got good news and I've got bad news.
Uh-oh.
It could be the same. It's one news. Just
it's one news. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. What you got?
I can only be here for about 50 minutes today.
Okay.
So that's either good news or bad news, depending on how you take it.
So I'm assuming that we are going to work today.
No, we're not. We have other things that are occupying our day.
Other engagements.
Yes, we are otherwise engaged.
Very nice.
Yes.
What do you think of the Oreo?
Oh, I like it.
It's cool, isn't it?
I wish it wasn't, for me, I wish it wasn't so thick, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I've gotten lots of compliments on it. Like just people that say, "Hey, I like that watch." Ooh.
And see, they were smart with this. They put the regular dive bezel, the regular dive bezel base, and then just converted the insert for the GMT.
Correct.
So you've got the full dive bezel timing ability with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you've also got the solid clicks. Where Rolex with the GMT Master 2s has the bidirectional soft 24 click.
Yes. Now this is bidirectional.
Yeah, but it's got the hard clicks to it.
Right.
So they're stiffer. and you can use it as a dive timer as well.
Yeah. Either way.
For when you fall into the Allegheny or the Monongahela that create the Ohio.
My watch will be much better off than I will.
Yeah.
Bruce G says the Coca-Cola flavored Oreo is addictive. I tried it once. It was okay. It was a 0 sugar one. And then I went to try it again because I was like, well, I want to try it again because I'm not sure. And then I couldn't find it again. It disappeared from my market shelves. If you say Omega 3 times, Brian appears.
No.
No. You have to say Swatch Group 3 times.
Yes. And remember what Swatch Group stands for?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. It is screwing watch aficionados through cheap horology.
Well, that's one way to look at it, I guess. I seem to like them.
Okay.
I don't know, Brian. I enjoy the heck out of them.
Yeah, there's a few people out there that do.
Yeah.
I can't argue with their third place success as a watch brand.
They sell an awful lot of watches. I'm a big fan of the coaxial master chronometers and the exhibition case backs and the locker lugs. We all know these things to be true.
That coaxial movement is freaking brilliant.
Yeah. Now it is a little thicker, but I don't mind the thickness of the watch. It's a selling point to me. It's big. It has presence. It's, what are you gonna do? I like it.
And it's got an extra crown for no reason.
It does. It's a helium escape valve.
Right.
Of course.
For no reason. Like I said, no reason.
Of course I need that.
There is no reason you need that, but you have it.
I love it. Hey, any dive watch that I buy that keeps me from buying an aqua timer, I think should be a good thing. Right?
I cannot agree with that statement, but go ahead.
Aqua timer once and watches on wood shows up. See?
Yeah. Well, he also likes those Mont Blanc weird ones with the Nicholas guy.
It's Whole Milk says, "Did I hear aqua timer?" He shows up. See what happens?
See?
People just start showing up.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Anybody with money can go to any mall and buy an Omega Seamaster of some sort, Speedmaster of some sort, or the 78,000 variations that they have of Seamasters and all that stuff. Anybody can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to know something in order to buy an IWC Aqua Timer.
What
You've got to know more than just, I've seen it in the mall, or James Bond wore that,
So, what did you think of my Oreo pictures? I thought that was pretty clever. I got to watch, I got lunch, and I drove back home and stopped in the market district, and I saw the Oreos, and I started taking pictures of the watch. People were looking at me like I was just.
I like it. The first thing that concerned me was, why is there only one F in Stuf?
Well, that's the way they spell it. Maybe there was a Stuf trademark, but you know why I did double Stuf, right?
Yeah, because it's extra fat.
Because it's thick. It's a chunky monkey. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
Watch his own wood says he agrees. The IWC Aqua Timer is the thinking man's dive watch.
Yeah. Yeah, and listen, as far as your double stuffed Oreo here goes,
Yes.
I mean, look, we're all mostly men here. I don't know. I'm not so sure about whole milk, but we, it's easy to love a skinny, shapely girl.
Mm-hmm.
Takes someone special to love a thick one.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
And there it is. Esoteric, it is 17. I measured it 17.3. The Omega website says 17.1. But
And the difference between the actual Oreo cookies and this is the Oreo cookies are water resistant to about 1/4 of an inch of coffee.
yes, they're good to be dipped in milk.
And sometimes whole milk if you can tolerate it.
So if you're not lactose intolerant, you can dip them in whole milk.
Yeah. Dip them in coffee.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think the Oreos are quite as thick as the watch. I haven't eaten an Oreo in a long time.
No. Oreos are generally not on the type 1 diabetics diet plan unless your sugar is crashing and that's all you have around you.
That's all you got. Yeah, because those are just sugar. Just sugar and other assorted carbs.
Oh.
But I thought for just doing that real quick in the supermarket that the pictures actually came out pretty good. I was very impressed with myself, Brian.
Hey, glad somebody's impressed with you.
I know, right? And I love when this happens. I got the clamshell. I don't know why that makes me happy, but it does.
Because you're a freaking watch geek.
That's okay. That explains it.
Yeah. Give me the FedEx shipping label for it too. Oh,
ooh. FedEx box.
Comes with box label, box papers and a napkin from the desk where I got sized on. Yay.
Ooh. So I did get a half link to make it fit a little better.
Link for Bilbo Baggins. Halfling. Halfling. Hobbit. Sorry.
Hobbit. Dear Artifact, morning, Mark. I wish Cowboy Dick was here instead of that pipe guy. Ooh, he's getting, those Canadians, they're a little full of themselves after winning the game the other night. That was a good game. That was an enjoyable game to watch. I was surprised Bennington played as well as he did.
Do you know why? Do you know why Alabama and Mississippi are really hoping that we annex Canada and make them part of the U.S.?
They will move up on the reading scores.
Yeah, they'll move up on the abilities to speak English, levels.
Now, if we annex Canada, do we do away with the French speakers, the francophones?
That's tough.
Yeah.
I think we leave that. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think we deport them back to their original country.
Right. I think they came over in this late 1600s.
Yeah, which their original country was Louisiana, but yeah. Oh well.
We got George Voorhees. Good morning, all. Can't hop on today. Traveling from OC. Have a great stream. Well, thanks for listening, George. George, am I allowed to show the picture that you sent me? I guess that's the question. Because that was a shocker to me. That's the question of the day. Am I allowed to show the picture? Good. Oh, nice. All right.
Oh, now I'm intrigued.
It's pretty intriguing, actually.
All right, let me guess. George has come out of the closet as a Jacob fan.
That's George's wrist. Wearing an IWC Engineer.
Oh, he didn't even pick out a good one.
And he said he had a good experience at the AD. Look at that. I was shocked. I almost fell out of my chair.
Oh, poor George.
BW, please call me an ambulance. Yes. George tried on the Engineer. Went back to the scene of the crime, he said. And had a very, very good experience. So we'll see how that skews his view of IWC going further. We got Jen G in the chat. She says, this is America. We speak American here. Very nice. Dear Artifact says, if we get annexed, do we then get access to those double stuffed Oreos? Yes. Yeah. Yes, you do.
And we'll make a flavor just for you. Maple bacon Oreos.
Nice. George Varhey says, please forgive me, everyone. It was a great time in IWC. Look at that. A maple leaf has been turned.
Oh, and dear Artifact, the other benefit of us annexing you is that the Canadian goose will no longer be protected under the Canadian laws. So you feel free to kill all those rat bastards that you want to.
Wow. They do have skinny wrists.
No, but the Canadian geese are they're protected in Canada.
Okay.
And they're all over, shitting all over the place.
Oh, geez. Maybe we'll just release the eagles on them.
I actually think the Canadian geese are worse than the quabaca.
Ooh. Yeah. Gen G says, or we could do all dressed Oreos. Very nice.
Plaid.
The Artifact says, I feel like we'll get stiffed, Mark and Brian. By the time you annex us, RFK will have already banned the double stuff. He might. Well, at least the Valentine's Day ones with the red food color.
No, he'll like them because they'll actually be double stuffed with brain-eating worms.
Aha, very nice. Yeah. Who doesn't want a brain-eating worm?
And you can kill a bear with a double stuffed Oreo. And bury it in Central Park.
Oh my God, Brian!
What?
I don't think I really ever looked at the back of this thing. It says "recycle me." Who would recycle this? You keep this.
Where does it say "made in China"?
They don't actually admit it on the box. Oh my! So yes, George trying on the IWC Engineer. I actually like that color on that one. I'm not 100% sold on the watch, but I like it. I don't hate it. The price is a little difficult to swallow. George, you should get the Patronus Chrono. You and Brian can hang out, and the next time you guys meet, wear your Patronus.
We can twin. Hey,
we're twins
in Miami.
Ooh,
George, I'm taller. I get to be the top.
Ooh, shots fired! Shots fired.
I'm just saying, it's just stating the truth.
Look,
and I'm older.
I don't understand ketchup chips. I don't understand the ketchup chips, Brian. But we want all of the poutine.
I want to make Moosehead beer great again.
I loved Moosehead beer when I was in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moosehead was good stuff.
Yeah.
My college girlfriend was she loved Moosehead. She was the one who turned me on to it because I didn't really, we drank Stroh's or whatever was cheap,
Yeah.
Busch Light.
Meisterbrow,
Red, White, and Blue, Milwaukee's Best, whatever we can get cheap. And then she introduced me to Moosehead, and I was like, oh, whoa, this has flavor.
Yeah.
What the hell?
What'd they do to that water in that can? Oh, shit, they put flavor in there.
They put flavor in there. Those clever Canadians. Wonderpin Twin Powers Forum, a pail of water. Yes. George Varhees was a Molson guy.
Don't tell the Canadians, but yeah. I used to really enjoy bourbons and ryes, and then I found a rye called Pendleton 1910.
Okay.
It's from the Pendleton Clothing Company. But it's a Canadian-made small batch rye that they have made in Canada, and then they bottle it in Oregon, I think. And
why would they do that?
Because it's a lot cheaper to bring it across the border as unbottled and then bottle it in the country.
Okay.
But it's out of all the ryes that I've ever had, the Pendleton was my favorite. But it's Canadian rye whiskey.
Yeah, sometimes I enjoy a rye. Dear Artifact says if we come across the border, he'll take. Well, there's not going to be a border once it'll just be a state border, a state line.
Yeah.
But he will give us a tour of the Moosehead Brewery and Museum. They have a museum. Man,
ooh, great. We'll come during summer. I hear that's on a Thursday in July usually.
Where is the Moosehead Brewery and Museum?
It's in Canada.
Well, that part I got, Brian.
Oh, okay.
I meant where in Canada? I have no idea. None whatsoever.
Somewhere indoors.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's August. Okay. Well, see, I'm used to talking to people from Ontario and Dear Artifacts out there and the other places that we don't know about that you before you get to Vancouver or BC,
Wonder how. It was really cold here this weekend, and every time I would see mention or chat or Instagram of Kyle D, I thought, well, if it's this cold here, how freaking cold is it in Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Litter Buck, Pendleton Roundup.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. Why isn't the place Canadians are from called Canada? Your Artifact says it's intolerable in winter. It was freezing cold here last week, and I was just like, wow, it must be brutal in Winnipeg right now.
I think it was George Carlin that said Latin Americans are from Hispanic, the Spanish-speaking people are from from Spanish countries, and Africans are from Africa, Asians are from Asia, Caucasians are from where the hell is Caucasia?
Where is Caucasia?
Yeah.
Yes. So I back when I was married, my ex was a school teacher. She taught German, and one of my salesmen was like, have her set me up with one of her school teacher friends. I always wanted to date a school teacher, blah, 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 blah. So she's like, oh, I have a friend for Billy. I'm like, all right, cool. So I get down to the bar. I had we had a late deal, so I couldn't get there right away. So they all met, Laura and her friend and Billy, my salesman. So they're down at the Gandy Dancer, and I walk in. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. So Bill's trying to, small talk the girl. Right. And he's like, he goes, oh, what do you teach? And she's like, I teach Latin. And Bill's, he's not, he's a nice guy. I like Billy a lot. He was in bands, and he's fun, but not always the smartest guy. and I could see the tumblers working in his head. And I was like, "Oh, what's coming?"
Uh-oh.
He looked at her with a straight face, in all seriousness, and said, "Do you find that a lot of the players on the baseball team take Latin?" And I'm like, it's like him, her, Laura, me. So I'm like, 4 away far. I can't get there in time to stop this. Because in my mind, I'm going Portuguese and Spanish, Portuguese and Spanish, dude. And she's like, "No, why?" He goes, "Well, so they can speak to the Latin Americans." And I was just too far away to stop it, Brian.
Yeah, whoops.
That was not a relationship that blossomed.
Well, I mean, they were from different parts of the library. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, one's teaching Latin, and the other one is in the Archie comic books.
Yes.
That's okay.
It was so. I still laugh to this day. That's gonna be 20 some years ago. I laugh about that still. And anytime I see him, I bring it up. Hey, taking those Latin classes? Dear Artifact, if you don't live on one of the coasts and you don't get the humidity from the oceans, you're screwed. The interior provinces are unlivable between December and April. Damn.
I'd like to expand that to October to May. Thank you.
May, thank you. Orco, good to see you. George Marty says, "Talk about straight three." Oh, it's terrible. I was close enough to hear it, far enough away to not be able to stop it. Because it's as soon as it's coming out of his mouth, I'm like, "Oh dear God, no!"
Here it comes. Oh God.
There it is.
Crash. Boom.
It's out. And there you have it. Strike three. So bad. It was so bad. But what are you going to do?
Laugh.
Yeah, that's all you can do,
Just know you tried.
Yeah. We, tried to do something nice. It just didn't pan out,
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Did anybody get food poisoning or get permanently damaged from the event? No. Move on.
No.
Did anybody? Accidentally after that, your friend Billy didn't become a dentist or something stupid like that.
No, he did not become a dentist.
Okay.
He actually lives in Chicago now,
and he hosts late night watch talk streams.
Yes. What's the Gen Z says? Congratulations on making an engineer, Brian.
I am a pilot.
Pilot.
I am a fully licensed and trained pilot.
Nice.
Of the Walt Disney World monorails.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come down and take a ride.
Yep.
So if you guys want to get an idea of the thickness of this watch, this little wrist roll I took will give you an idea when I get to the sides here. Oh yeah.
Oh. And Mark's wrist is 8 3/4 inches.
So 7.5. 7.5. But the one thing I discovered with the slightly less thick Planet Ocean was that the half link is a must for me, because you need this watch to fit well, because it is heavy. I want to say this thing with all the links is like 231 grams. Yeah. It is not for the faint of wrist. That is for certain. Jen G got a new watch. She unboxed on the Watch Hangout when I was on there. She got a Laco.
Yeah.
I like Laco. I think they make cool watches.
I like the price of her watch too.
Yes. Yeah, good price. Excuse me. Very good price and cool watch. The artifact says the annexation will feed my father's incessant collecting of watches, as it will then give him access to Holy Trinity boutiques. Get ready for a slew of unboxings. Yes.
Uh-oh. Yeah, dear artifact, if you won't have any duties to pay when we take you over.
Yeah.
And you won't have free healthcare either.
No, well, we don't believe in that. We're not healthcare forward thinking people. George Varhey says South Coast Plaza is the mecca for watch lovers. Tried on Panerai, Hublot, Roger Dubuis, IWC, Tudor, Tags, ALS, and Mont Blanc. He really liked the new Roger Dubuis. Oh.
All right, so I see Roger Dubuis, IWC, Tudor, and Alonga. What are those other brands?
Yeah, see, you own you want a Mont Blanc.
I'm trying to cure myself. I'm telling you right now, though, if eBay drops a 10% off coupon, I'm buying that one.
Well, it's a cool looking watch. I cannot tell a lie. Orco says Laco has some cool stuff. I love the Laco Navy with the small seconds and white dial. Great looking watch. Yeah, we'll look that up here in a minute. The artifact says no duties is a big plus, Brian. We get taken for a ride at the border.
No duties, and you can kill all the Canadian geese you want.
It's a win-win. Win-win, according to Brian the Pipe.
Happy days.
What was that watch? I'm sorry, Orca. That was the Laco Navy. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, that's a good looking little. Why do they call that a Navy? It looks like a field watch.
Maybe it's got a screw down crown.
Ah. Well, let's pull up this one.
But really, if you make a watch for your Navy and you make it water resistant, isn't that kind of, just saying you're going to sink?
Well, yeah, I mean, but that kind of looks like, a field watch.
That's really pretty. I love those hands.
Yeah, it's a pretty watch.
Yeah,
Laco, I like Laco. Laco makes interesting stuff. A lot of fleegery stuff, but the stuff I owned a Laco once. I can't remember. It was in Augsburg or something. It was a phase. But so when she showed the box, I'm like, that reminds me of my Laco box. But even their boxes and the interior boxes are nice. The watches are kind of cool. They're different, You don't see it every day. I like it. Big fan. Big fan. Shout out to, was it the Lonely Wrist that dispersed those, Jen? The Lonely Wrist channel guy? I can't remember his name.
Blake.
Thank you. Jen G says they came out with one of these that has blue numerals.
Ooh.
Yeah, check out his channel. That was very, very kind of him. He actually distributed 2 Lacos. But they're cool watches. Laco makes, like I said, their Flieger watches are really cool. They have history. They have cool looks. They don't they're not nutso or anything price wise. It's good stuff for good value to money, I think. Let me see if I can find one with a blue hand. Blue indices.
Am I blue? Do. Am I blue?
Well, they make them in different sizes too. You can get a 42.5 even, Brian. That's exciting. Do not see.
Yes, I'm blue. Wishing you.
100 years of passion and legend. Oh, jeez. I messed that up. I clicked the wrong spot, Brian.
Oh, you got to be careful doing that.
Yes.
You click the wrong spot, boy. On the internet, you end up in.
Yeah. Ooh, full loom dials. Type in the wrong thing on the internet, you can be in big trouble.
Oh, 3 to 7.
Don't see it, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, because watch websites stink. Made in Germany, Brian. They're made in Germany.
Yeah.
Where's the rest of the watches?
I hear they make some cars in Germany too.
Couple interesting pieces. I think Blake has this one, this blue dial one. He called it the Mark 20 killer, which in a way is correct. Yeah, I always think of them for their Flieger watches, which I think they just do a really nice job. They kind of remind me of Zen a little bit. But
yeah, same kind of design house.
Yeah. The design language is definitely there. Are they in Stuttgart? It's a Stuttgart Pro. Stuttgart.
Uh-oh.
Speaking of Stuttgart, where's James Hessman?
He's retired now.
I know. He's all over. He always likes the stuff on my Facebook and my Instagram, but I don't see him in person anymore. I love this kind of classic layout Flieger watch. $1,000 for that watch.
That's a lot of watch for that money.
It really is. I mean, it's got great hands, great Flieger hands with the it's that classic Flieger layout. It's Solita SW200 base movement, stainless steel, double dome, sapphire crystal. They have a reflective coating.
Talk to yourself. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
All right. 20 meters worth of, or 200 meters worth of water resistance. Thermal blued hands with Luma. So they aren't even like fake blued hands. That's pretty good watch, I think, for $1,000. G says it's really a great watch. The blue one should be on the homepage. We'll go look. They just released them. Orco says Stova kind of fits that category too. Yes, yeah. PW says it's not a delicate watch. It can take a beating. Yes, we like that too. That is a good thing as well. Let's see what's on the homepage here. I see these Polar limited with blue dashes. No small seconds on that one though. Yeah, I don't see the blued indices. Unless we're talking about this one with this Polar 39 limited edition. It has some blue dashes rather than the indices. No small seconds, but it's good looking. Is this what you're talking about, Jen? The Augsburg Polar 39? I don't know. The Polar 39. There you go. But the Polar had more blue than it does. It's got some. It's got just enough, though. I don't think you want too much blue on it. Your artifact says, all jokes aside, whatever happens in the future, keep in mind that there are many Canadians who love the Americans, myself and my family included, always have, always will. You love our space program, dear Artifact. You're not fooling anyone. But yeah, I've known many Canadians through my decades on Earth, and many of them I consider to be good friends, and never really had a bad experience, with the exception of the hockey. They love to taunt us about the hockey. They do, Brian. It's just true.
Yeah. The hockey is an important thing to
the Canadians.
Yeah.
And I thought this might be the year. More so when you look at the teams, you look at Connor McDavid is the greatest player in the world right now. You know, so it was nice to see him get his moment and score the overtime goal, have his Sidney Crosby moment. But Sidney Crosby is still the ultimate captain. You know, you could argue that the three best players in the tournament were Canadian. You know, you can make that argument. But where I really thought that the Americans had the advantage was in goal, because there isn't like that stud Canadian goalie that you think of. You know, there's no Martin Brodeur or anyone. You know, there's Patrick was. No one you think of as that guy that's unbeatable. And to that end, I thought that's where the Americans were going to have their advantage. And that went out the window. Happy Sunday to you too, dear or Father Artifact. Good to see you. Orko, bringing up the bitter pill. Oh, the Penguins are terrible this year. I think they made a mistake keeping the core together. I know the core wanted to stay together. I thought they should have jettisoned Malkin, Letang, even thought about maybe trading Crosby to somebody. Trade him to Colorado. You can play with McKinnon, who was the MVP, probably the second best player in that tournament. And Cale Makar. I mean, those guys are incredible hockey players. And it was a great game. It was a fun game to watch. A lot of chances, a lot of big saves, a lot of just good stuff. Better game than the fight game. The fight game was good for 9 seconds.
Mark, do you have a link for a hockey to American dictionary so I can understand what the hell you're talking about? Just asking for, football, baseball. That's me.
Yeah. Just Google Don Cherry's Rock'em Sock'em Hockey.
No, I'm good.
Oh, they're the best. Back when VHS was starting to become a thing, I would go. You could find these Don Cherry videos. He would come out with one every year, Rock'em Sock'em Hockey, and they were just the best because it was all the big hits, the best fights, the best saves, the best goals, and he's a character. I like Don Cherry. I saw an interview with him the other day. It's just sad to see him looking kind of old. Speaking of sad and old, Mike Lang passed away. Mike Lang was the longtime broadcaster for the Pittsburgh Penguins, like 46 years. And he was known for his goal call sayings. He would make up these interesting ways to call a goal. And he would come up with new ones every year. So, like when Sidney Crosby came up, I'll never forget the first time I heard, Crosby scores a goal against, he screams into the microphone, "Slap me, silly Sidney." But he was the guy who would say, like, "Scratch my back with a hacksaw." Mario Lemieux would go in and undress a goalie, and he would say he just beat him like a breaded mule. He just had all these sayings that were so good. He retired a few years ago, but he just passed away. I met him a couple times. He's just a nice guy. And just like I said, if we could take over Canada, does that mean we can have Tuesday night curling? Ooh.
That is a brilliant thing. I love curling.
You love curling?
I do.
Why? Why do people love curling?
It's a game of skill and strategy. And if you're listening to the women's curling competitions,
okay,
if you turn off the sound, if you turn off the video and just listen to the sound, it sounds exactly like some adult films.
Oh my God. All right. So I'm going to play something for you, Brian. This will be part of your hockey knowledge journey.
Okay. Wayne Gretzky.
Hold on. Let me set it up here. Share that tab.
Guerin's got the puck to Crosby. Rich shot. Hey! Shoots and scores. Oh, get in the fast lane, Grandma. The bingo game is ready to roll.
Now, a few things are apparent when listening to Penguins broadcaster Mike Lang. He's got a bingo-addicted grandma and what has to be an incurably itchy back, but he's also one of the game's best. He is the king of the catchphrases we see in the SportsCenter Top 10, the best of Mike Lang.
The Penguins reach in to get that puck. Crosby's pass to Marian Hossa. Stutter steps, goes into the Flyers in. Through people and Fire scored! Oh, what a play by Hossa! He turns. Goaltender Baron inside out, and he just lost his liquor license. Crosby looking. Loose in front. Still a loose puck picked up by Lucky. Shoots and scores! And Sidney Crosby has scored his first goal ever in a Pittsburgh Penguins uniform. Oh, slap me, silly Sidney. Crosby's going to take it off. He shoots and scores. Oh, slap me, silly Sidney. Malkin's still on here from the power play. Walks out and shoots. Scores! Evgeny Malkin from the right wing circle. And the Penguins take a 1-0 lead. Oh, save my face with a rusty razor. Here's Ulf Samuelson shooting and scoring. He gets a second goal. Ulf Samuelson gets the Penguins their sixth goal. Now he's smiling like a butcher's dog. Murphy shooting, scoring, deflected by Yager, I believe. Yager may have got a stick on it, and the Penguins have taken an early 1-0 lead. Now Murphy and the fans are smiling like a butcher's dog. Andrew takes a shot, save a rebound. Walker can't put it in. Score! Brown gets the goal. The Penguins get their fourth, and they lead 4-2. Oh, let's go hunt moose on a Harley. Gets the slap. Oh, scratch my back with a hacksaw. Kurt McLean doesn't know whether to cry or wind his watch. McLean doesn't know whether to cry or wind his watch. And poor Theodore doesn't know whether to cry or wind his watch. Now to Yager. Fires again. It's third of the night. The hat trick for Jaromir Jagr. And here come the hat. At the Mellon Arena. Ladies and gentlemen, you got it. Elvis has just left the building. Whether you want it while there he is, Elvis. Elvis scored. As he beats Theodore like a rented mule. Joey Bubba taps it by Van Beesbrook. Beats him like a rented mule. Jaromir Jagr beats Luongo like a rented mule. Marty Straka beats Tommy Salo. He beat him like a rented mule. 5 seconds to go. Loose around to the far corner. 2 seconds. The Penguins are going to win the Stanley Cup, I believe. Helio shoots it blocked. The Penguins have won the Stanley Cup. Oh, Lord Stanley, get me the brandy.
So there you go, Brian. There's your little lesson in Mike Langisms.
Too bad they don't score more in hockey so you could hear more.
He was the best. Orko says, shave my face with a rusty razor. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fun. Yeah, one of my favorites I forgot about was getting the fast lane, Grandma. The bingo game is about to begin. He was a timeless treasure. He did Pirates games for a year, and he was great at that as well. But yeah, he was fun to listen to. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has just left the building. But what are you going to do? He passed away. They had a big ceremony for him yesterday, and then to celebrate, they lost 8-3 to the Capitals.
8-8.
8-3.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know enough about hockey to know that 8 is not normally a number you see unless you're like the Pee Wee leagues or something. And
yeah, 8 is an unusual number. It's a bad number to give up. It's hard to come back. It's hard to score more than 8 goals. It's hard to score 8 goals.
8.
8-3 they lost. They're terrible.
I mean, at that point, when you get to like 5 or 6, don't you just find the fattest guy in the stands and tell him to be the goalie and just sit there?
Well, you just get everybody on your team to get a fighting major with an instigator penalty and get kicked out of the game, so you have no one left to play. Can't lose if you can't play, I guess, as Shorzy says. But yeah, that's just horrible. Just horrible.
8.
But 8. Yeah. A real emotional, nice tribute for Mike Lang, and then they gave up 8 goals.
Well, they're all crying in there.
Yeah.
Well,
but they included the watch one. He doesn't know whether to cry or wind his watch.
What's that? What's the nasty beer that Pittsburgh has that's like a malt liquor? Is it like Steel City or something?
Iron City.
Iron City?
Iron City beer and Icy Light.
Yeah, it's like 38% alcohol and 1% water and taste.
Yes. I don't know if there's any taste. I don't think they include anything for taste. Could be wrong.
Their big clientele drinks it out of a paper bag in the parking lot.
Yeah. You don't see it nearly as much these days. You see the stadiums have it, and some places, but it's a bad beer.
Okay.
Bad beer. My dad was a big Icy Light guy for a while. He liked the Icy Light. Derek says Steel City Reserve. No such thing. No such thing. Terrible beer. Terrible beer. I don't know why, but it was the thing. But people drank it. It wasn't even cheap beer. It wasn't even one of the super cheap beers. But people liked it. So if George Varghese is still listening out there, did he actually buy an IWC or did he just try them on? Oh, Muhammad Ali, this is big news. He says, happy Sunday, Brian and Mark. In 4 weeks' time, I will hop on your stream live from a diner in Chicago. That's exciting. That is exciting stuff. Very happy to see live diner from Chicago. Muhammad Ali, if you're just joining us, I had the avocado toast for breakfast with sweet potatoes in a spicy maple glaze. They were delicious. I had some juice and a latte with it. The Ramones actually did some of the jingles for Steel Reserve. Huh. No idea. Had no earthly clue that was a thing. I know that my brother played. My brother's a drummer, and there was a local punk rock band. I can't think of their name, but they had a kind of a small European club tour. And their drummer, with his past criminal history, could not get a passport. So my brother toured around Germany, France, Belgium, places like that with it for 2 months with this hardcore punk rock band. But it was a bonus to them because he speaks fluent German and pretty good French. So. Muhammad Ali says the avocado toast looks great. My place in London had the mushroom toast this week. That would look so good. I love the mushroom toast. Great as always. Dear Artifact says, I feel like America does eggnog better than Canada. Looking forward to sampling your many brands of eggnog. I like the Southern Comfort eggnog. It doesn't actually have Southern Comfort in it. You buy it at a grocery store. You can add it to it, but it's got a good spicy snap flavor to it. If I'm going to eggnog, I will pick up one of those. I haven't done that in years.
I found almond milk eggnog for the first time this year.
Oh, wow.
Christmas. Yeah. And,
and
it was pretty good. And considering I'm lactose intolerant, it was great. But I was also making really good cappuccinos with it. Really good. I mean, I really liked the way they came out. I just put a dash of cinnamon in it, and it was fantastic.
I didn't know there was such a thing, Gen G. Let me get over to All Watch News and see what I can't dig up. There's a new black and pink Tudor chrono.
Really? Hold on. Hey, really? Where have I been? Oh, I know where I've been. Never mind.
Where have you been, Brian? Well, talk to yourself. Okay, I don't see any articles about it. Where would we find the information on this, Gen G? That's pretty cool. The only Pittsburgh punk band I can think of is Anti-Flag. Yeah, no, this wasn't Anti-Flag. This was I think it was one word. Maybe. I can't think. Damn it. I know when I asked him how it was, he said he had a really good time, but every night he was just tired because he's like, punk rock as a drummer is just a lot of he's I am not Genji. I am not. Not a member of the community WhatsApp. I gave up my membership in that a year ago or so. Let me see if I can find it. I don't see it on the Tudor page.
Instagram at Son of a Watch. That's probably fake news.
What's it called? Son of a Watch. All right. Let's go look it up there.
Dear Canadians, after we annex you, you will have to get used to the term.
Before we do that, what the heck is that, George? I'm sorry I didn't see it earlier.
That there is one of your Roger Dubuis.
Ah.
That looks like a flying tourbillon, if I'm not mistaken.
What is going on with that mountainous looking bracelet?
That's probably forged out of the penis bone of the mountain ox.
Ah, very nice.
George likes weird materials.
Well, yeah, I've heard. I have the internet. I've heard the rumors. That's kind of cool looking, though. I mean, if you like that kind of thing, you know. And who was I looking for? Son of a Watch. Bum.
Oh, no. It's just a pink accented. It looks like an FXD chronograph.
What are you talking about? This pink The FXD chronograph with the pink strap.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No.
I'm out. You don't want to get the pink strap for your
For my pink watch?
For your IWC? Didn't they make a Miami edition with a pink strap for your Patronus?
Yeah, I'm not ready to come completely out of the closet.
Okay. All right. So that's an FXD on a pink strap.
It looks like it's an FXD, or it's just a really weirdly tucked. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Definitely looks like an FXD. What did you think of this, Brian? I was not impressed.
Is that a bronze?
The bronze gold Seamaster.
You know, I was just thinking to myself, God, I'm a little hungry. Maybe I should have something to eat. Yeah, you brought that up. Thank you.
Weird. Yes. Yeah, I was not impressed with this. I like the no date aspects of these ones are releasing. I actually like the regular laser cut wave dials better than these old throwback wave dials. I would actually rather see them keep the current wave dial pattern, leave out the date, and switch up the hands.
Yeah, I hate those hands.
They just keep using those hands, and that's the thing. When you listen to people bitch about the watch, what's the first bitch about the watch is the hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they put a lollipop seconds on it, which I hate.
The lollipop seconds I like. The handset, no. Is that like a maroon color?
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
Well, one of the problems with these when they do these new releases is you actually lose stuff. So let me see if it's up on the Omega website yet.
Like had I eaten earlier, I would have lost my breakfast on that.
Yeah. There it is. All right. So let's take a peek at this. Hold on. $27,900. Ooh.
So your catchphrase announcer dude reminded me of a guy that I overheard one time at the IKEA in Charlotte, where I lived.
Mm-hmm.
When he got out of the store, and he said, "I'd rather castrate myself with a sledgehammer than go in that place again."
Ah, very nice.
I'd rather castrate myself with a sledgehammer than pay $20,000 for this shitter. No.
But even the ones that aren't $27,000, so you actually a lot of times get less watts. Like you don't get a ceramic bezel, you get an aluminum bezel in these new ones they've been releasing. You don't get the ceramic dial. You know,
in honor of our Canadian friends who will soon be Americans, that's aluminium.
Aluminium, yes. For anybody watching in the UK with a speech impediment, it's aluminium. Yeah. So what? They keep using them hands. Yeah. Why? Why do they do that? Isn't that the big bitch? I never minded the hands, but I had the white one. So the white one, the black hands on the white one are actually pretty easy to read. So it didn't really bother me as much. But everyone else, I mean, the big gripe with the watch is the hands. It was never, oh, I don't want a ceramic dial or I don't want a ceramic bezel. And I know they got away with it on the No Time to Die. And that's one of my bitches about the No Time to Die is you actually get less watch for more money. You pay a huge bond tax on that watch. And I like the watch, but And it's not even gold. It's bronze gold. Right. Yeah. What's on Wood says, can you actually call something that consists of 37.5% gold? It's more other metals than it is gold. Call that luxury? Exactly. It's not even gold. Like if you go to, what's the other new one? We'll go up. They have the green one. It just came out with, I think this is 10.7. It's titanium, bronze, gold. But I think it's, even at 10.7, I don't think there's value there. It's only $7 more than the No Time to Die, though, which is titanium without the bronze gold, but you're paying for all the bond stuff. But I mean, part of the deal with being a Seamaster is the entry level value point. You know, like this green's always popular. You know, 5,600 for the green on rubber, 59 on the bracelet, and you're getting, I think, better materials in your watch. You know, yeah, it's stainless, but it's ceramic bezel, it's a ceramic dial, laser cut wave pattern is cooler. I think. I don't know. Call me kooky, Brian, but that's my take on it.
Well, if I call you Kooky Brian, then we'd have to designate the two of us separately somehow.
Would be confusing to the audience.
Yes.
Anthony, good to see you. Anthony says that should be like 18. Yeah, not 28. That's crazy. And I think it's also crazy when you compare it to, let me go find you a comparison. So this is moonshine gold and stainless for 13.6, and this has actual gold.
Mark, I'm about to improve the quality of your show.
You're leaving?
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta go.
All right. Well, thanks for coming by.
Yeah. Happy Sunday to everybody. You know what? If you can't be nice to somebody, then figure out some way to do something evil behind their back so they never know it was you and they get, slightly ruined for the day.
Oh, well, there you go. It really goes to the other side of my say something nice to someone, do something nice for someone. Dick that I'm always trying to pull.
Yeah. Yeah. And remember, children and old people are fun to trip. So
yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah. All right. See you guys.
All right. See you, Brad. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian the Pipe. We are blessed with great guests. The link is pinned at the top if anybody wants to come on and talk watches. Or Anthony, if you want to come on and talk barbecue. I heard the barbecue season is fast approaching in Uniontown. I mentioned that to Zach when I was picking this up. I thought that was kind of cool. Watch someone says for $28K, when Omega price these watches, they need to ask themselves, what else could our potential customers buy instead of this? Yeah, they could buy a lot. Like I said, this Aquaterra is gold. Two-tone gold, and beautiful, better looking, better movement because it's a caliber 8900. Because it's 41 millimeter Aquaterra. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, and I'm a diehard Omega fanboy. We know this. I love the brand. I just question the decisions sometimes. Like, I don't understand why that watch is a thing. I wish that they made that 38 millimeter. So here's the titanium. This is the No Time to Die that I bitch about all the time. A watch that I love the look of. I love the way it looks on my wrist. I love everything about it except for the fact that it's price tag. This should be a $7,000 watch in titanium. It's grade 2 titanium. It's not even grade 5. It doesn't have an exhibition case back. It doesn't have the ceramic dial or bezel insert. I mean, it's missing a lot. And at 10 grand, you're paying a hell of a James Bond tax for that watch. And really, the James Bond aspects of it are that it was used in the movie. It has a broad arrow on the front and back, and it has some, little 007 and some Royal Navy numbers on the back. I mean, it's nothing grand or anything. It's a good looking watch, but for 10 grand, really? I still almost bought it instead of the Oreo. I really did consider this when buying the Oreo, but I just couldn't justify it, even with the trade-in, and they were giving me a hell of a deal on it. But even at that, it just, couldn't do it. Could not do it. Oh, yeah, no date. Yes, thanks, Billy. Yeah, and no date. Which he says is about 1,500 more. So, yeah, it's lacking in many areas. No exhibition back, no date, no ceramic, not even grade 5. If it was grade 5 titanium and it had an exhibition case back and ceramic bezel, even if they went with the dial, without the ceramic dial, it would make more sense to me at that price point, but it really just doesn't. And I love the watch. I love the look of the watch. It's definitely one of my faves when I see it. But what the hell, Omega? Why would you do that to us? Here we go. All right, I'm trying it on at Joyce's Jewelers. It's great. It's a great piece. Just really expensive for what it is. For what you're getting, I think it's really expensive. It's just hard to justify. Speaking of Joyce's Jewelers, let's see. Let's go over to Joyce's Jewelers in the pre-owned section. I know that there's a couple new watches, one of which was my creamsicle. One of which is this Ultra Deep in orange. So I'm not crazy about the orange Ultra Deep. The orange with the gray gradient dial, I'm not my favorite. But the bezel does loom on this one, which is cool. But not my favorite. I do love the bracelet. The bracelet's a little bit nicer than the regular Planet Ocean. The clasp is definitely nicer. These little these little polished bits on the side, and it's just a little bit better clasp on that watch. Or if you're looking for a creamsicle, I know where you can get one. It's a beauty. Nice watch. Not a mark on it, but I like the Oreo better. I like the Oreo better. Let's see. I think if I was going to get another S&P 300, I'd actually probably go for the summer blue. The summer blue, these pictures don't really do it justice. It's really pretty in person. It's a nice watch. It's a good piece, most definitely. Did you decide to get rid of the creamsicle because of the curse? The curse did not help. The curse did not help the creamsicle, Anthony. Although I did douse it and dunk it in holy water. I would love to see a company put aside their ego and do a blind test. Bring people in, hand them a watch, and ask them to give you the first price that comes to mind. Price, yeah. Price the watch at that and see how many get sold. I think perceived worth is a bigger factor than we give credit. Yeah, I get it. Orco, you're late. I did get the Oreo. I got a heck of a deal on the price. I got a heck of a trade-in, especially compared to what I paid for it. And I was super happy with the deal. I almost bought the No Time to Die, but this one has caught my fancy. Brandy new, one owner, me. Great watch. Super happy with it. I think it goes with more stuff. It's got more shiny bits, which I like. Orgo says, I am late. I was at church. Very nice pickup, Lucha. Well, good for you for going to church. I'll be going tonight. Saying a prayer for Pope Francis, who's just got double pneumonia, not doing very well. He was older when he was elected, so we shall see. 2:22 a.m. upvote number 22. Good morning, beautiful people. Sleep is overrated. It is. It is. All right. So brief state of the collection. We've got all the Seikos and G-Shocks. We are awaiting something that'll be in probably in a few weeks. We have the Oreo, and we sold the Aquaterra. So right now, basically, I have the Oreo. But there's something coming to replace it, or something coming to replace the Aquaterra soon. And then we will be, I will see if I can go the rest of the year with a 2-watch collection. That's my goal, is to have 2 watches. I want 2 watches that I really like, and that if I have one on and not the other one, I won't feel like I have a lesser of the 2 evil watches. I'm going away from the bolder colors because they just don't mix and match with the clothes. But that is definitely the goal. Obviously, at least one will be an Omega because I'm an Omega guy. I love the Omegas. That sounds like a plan. Congratulations. So what I did, so I really didn't get into the background. Mid-2000s Seamaster Sword Hand's probably my favorite. Yeah, again, we were talking about that, Dave. Yeah, they keep coming out with new stuff, but they don't change the hands. They have all these new Seamasters they keep coming out with the skeleton hands that everyone hates. I don't mind them so much, but again, I had the Great White, so the black hands really showed up well on that dial. Billy says, I hope it's the Rolex, no more Omega, please. Rolex are so boring. Look, the case on the Omega with the lyre lugs is better. The exhibition back on the Omega is more fun and better. The fact that with a exception of the entry level Rolex or the day date, every freaking dial is the same dial. Whether you get an Explorer 2, a Submariner, a GMT Master 2, a Sea Dweller, a Deep Sea, the same. It's all the same watch. It's all the same dial. I hate that. Bothers me. And then I would want something without a Cyclops. I've already got a big, thick, chunky monkey watch, which I like. Oh, Dingo Dave, I don't want a thinner watch. I want it thicker. I want it thicker. I want a bigger, thicker watch. I like big watches, and I cannot lie. It is what it is. But yeah, I like the big, thicker, chunky monkey watch. All right, so let's talk about this. It's really cool looking. The black and white ceramic bezel is really, really cool. I love the bracelet on these Planet Oceans. Again, I love the lyre lugs. I don't mind the helium escape valve. I like the fact that a Planet Ocean dial is different than an SMP 300 dial. I like the fact that it doesn't have a Cyclops. Those are all things I love. I like thick, Dave. Look at that thing. 17.1 according to Omega, 17.3 according to my calipers. I don't know. Either way, it's big, thick, yummy. I love it. I love it. It's double stuff. It's a double stuff Oreo, Dave. Who am I to deny? See, I beg to differ. He says but the problem with Omega are you cannot get nothing for them. You have to trade them for another Omega where they make money on the other watch. It's like buying a car. You should know this. So I would say that I made money on both Omegas. So I made $600 selling the Aquaterra. I made an eBay fee, so I probably made like $400, but I made a profit on it. So what I did was I threw both that and the creamsicle on eBay. I thought, we'll see if one of them sells, because I wasn't, the work thing was up in the air. There was a lot going on. I was like, we'll just see if one of these sell, if I get a decent offer for one of these, and I'll decide what to do. Well, somebody bought it. I was like, son of a bitch. So I did make money on that watch. And then I made a lot. I made $950 trading in the creamsicle compared to what I bought it for. So I did actually make, I didn't make tens of thousands of dollars or anything like that, but I did. If you buy them right, you can get out of them. Dingo Dave said, that's clean, Mark. Beautiful. Yes, you can get away with thick or thin. I love the thick. People say it's too thick at 20 millimeters, but just because of it, as you getting 2 10-millimeter dive watches for the price of one. Exactly. Yeah, 17.1 according to Omega. It is the double stuff, but it is thick. Happy Sunday to all from the Northeast. Good Sunday morning to John D. But all right, so I threw them both on, and the Aquaterra sold almost instantly. And not even, just sold for what I was asking for, which was a shocker. So then I'm like, well, I prefer the Oreo. We've talked about trading it before, so I took it up. I got Zach to work me out a deal on it, and he really worked me out a really good deal on it. I can't complain. So this guy, like I said, if you're looking for an Omega, yeah, they did make money on the Oreo, but I got $17.50 off. So at the end of the day, I saved $1,750 on the new watch. Here, hold on. Even have. Let me fold this up so it's not to dox myself, because who wants that? But and I don't begrudge anyone making some profit. You're selling something. You're supposed to be making money. But I got $17.50 off the new watch, so I didn't pay full price. I bought it for $69.50. It was a $700 retail watch. He gave me $54.50 for a watch that I paid $43 for, and I bought a half link for $48. So I was out the door with my taxes at $1640.88. To me, that's a good deal. That is a very good deal. I didn't pay full retail. I didn't lose on my trade-in. All these things make me very happy. That's free money. Which is $17.50. You can buy an Oris. Yes. Johnny O says, so it turns out the holy water exorcism worked on the vehicle. Yes. In a way it did. In a way it did. But where, I mean, you know, what Rolex am I saving $17.50 on? You know? And I know it's not going to sell for, but if you look at them, they're coming down, you know, and the Rolexes that I like don't sell for, you know, much over retail. Your kind of bland OPs, your Explorer 1, and your deep sea James Camerons are not going for big money anymore. But you're not getting a discount on them, and you probably, you know, they want you to have some kind of buying history before they even consider you for them still. So what did I really gain with a Rolex? You know? Whereas this way, I got a watch I like and the size I like with the equipment equipped the way I like it to be equipped. I saved $1,750. I made money on my trade-in. And I made money on the other one I bought brand new too. Again, I'm not making I'm not making thousands or $5,000 or $10,000, but I didn't lose any which way you look at it. So I am very happy with where I am at with how I buy what I buy. And I don't have a stinking Cyclops. And I don't have the if you go website to Tyson's Jewelry Exchange, they have the oil watch on the website. Box papers like new. Retail store selling price is $42.50. We'll have to go look at it. So what was a brand new watch? I don't know what they paid for it. I don't know what the markup to a Rolex A or to a Omega AD is on the watches. And honestly, I don't care because I could sell it for a lot more than $3,000. I could probably sell it for about what I paid for it. And if I desperately needed to get out of it, and I took out the equity from the other watch, I could still get that money for it. So why would I complain? And here's the best part. I just walked in, said I want that, and left with it. That's kind of fun. Remember shopping? Remember you just go shopping? What boxes need to still be checked off for the collecting adventure? I'm not sure. No, my watch is brand new. Hold on. Jumping Jupiter. Boom, 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 boom. I bought it at the authorized Omega AD. Oh, need that part of the box. International warranty. Make myself big. 2/12/2025. It is a brand new watch. It is not a pre-owned like new watch. This was a brandy new one right out of the case with the clamshell. I'm very happy with it. Sensical, I have creamsicle on the brain. That's true. You can't do that with a Rolex. Now, I know your watches. Right now, I'm talking about the creamsicle one that the store. Oh, it's definitely pre-owned. Yeah, the creamsicle is definitely pre-owned. Because it was pre-owned when I bought it. So, but yes, wanted to go to, where did I want to go? Somebody said I needed to go check out something. No, I can't remember what the heck it was. Oh, Billy, Tyson's Jewelry Exchange. Hold on. Tyson's Jewelry Exchange. Bum, 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 bum. So which? Yes, $42.50. Yeah, and I paid 43. If I paid 43 for mine. So that makes sense. More fishes, Dingo Dave. Jeez. So yeah, I got that one for right around that price. And what years? Let's see. Let's say what year this one is. Because mine was a December 23 vintage. Yeah, it doesn't say. So mine was like a year old when I got it. I actually fucked up. I for some reason, the year changed over, and I'm like, oh, this watch's only a month old when I got it. I was like, no, it's a year old, dumbass. But yeah, I don't see a no box and papers for that one either. Mine had both. Mine was a better deal. Probably a newer watch. Definitely had box and all your papers, all 3 cards. Was not a gray market purchase originally. So $42.50, no box, no papers. No idea what year it was made. I'll take mine. I will take mine over that. Or my old one. But I was able to take that one and again, get a good trade in, get a good price, and just walk in and say, can you imagine if I walked into a Rolex AD and said, yeah, I want a GMT Master 2? They would laugh me out of the establishment. Whereas this watch, I walked in and they said, sure, we would love to sell you one of those. And thank you for being a valued customer. Thank you for sending people in to buy watches off of us. We're going to give you a good deal. So I felt like I got a good deal on top of everything else. Where was I thought I saw what's this? It's a 23 James Cameron 15.5, which is not much above with a retails right around 15, doesn't it? So even those watches aren't holding the value that they once did. Yeah, that one had full box and papers. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like I got a winning deal. And isn't that what's really important? Is I often say, it's not the deal you got, it's the deal you think you got. Can you live with the deal that you got? I absolutely can. I feel like I came out ahead when I did all the arithmetic in my head. Yeah, never heard of them before. There's another place to look at. But anyway, so that's basically a 14-month-old creamsicle with box and papers, and not a mark on it. Not a mark wearing it either anymore. I didn't see very much more in there new. Norcanes. Oh, they did get a traded back in one of the NFL watches, the Steeler watch. Not crazy about that. And those NFL pieces. Again, I think you're paying a lot for the NFL branding on those watches. Can you imagine how old Daniel Katz's granddad is? That guy had to be born in the 1400s. That was a Daniel Katz level granddad joke. Bum, ba-da-dum. Hey, I'm here to help. We got 22 people watching. We have had upwards of almost 30. We got 22 upvotes. If you haven't hit the upvote, please do hit the upvote. We do appreciate it. We're going to be, here's some other news. I'm back to work. I really don't care about the super chats and stuff, obviously. I'm not going to try and sell you like memberships that you get nothing for. I never understand the memberships things on some channels. You really don't get much out of it. There's not a lot. What do you get? Like some emojis? Is that what you get normally? Emojis to use? Do you guys want me to create memberships so you can have emojis? I don't want to do that. It seems like work. I want to talk about watches and football and hockey and cars and wrestling. So I think I may demonetize the channel, because really we just do this so that we can have fun conversations. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. Like I said, the membership things on some of these channels I don't get, because there's not much. It's not like they even have like a special page or anything. It's just they'll do members only videos every once in a while. I'd rather be all inclusive. Not very many people that I've had to ban from the channel. I've only got 3 wrenches in the world. We've managed to survive and grow. I'm working full time again. I don't think that we really need to do. We keep the. I don't see any reason to keep the channel monetized. That way, if some music gets in, nobody cares. It's not a big deal. I do appreciate everybody that supported the channel financially in the past, especially when I wasn't working. That was greatly appreciated, but it's kind of takes away from what we try and do here. Worker says going to work. Yes. Billy hit the upvote. Thank you. Hildestrand said no pay-per-view. Lucha Rose cage. Rose wouldn't stand. He would be done in 30 seconds. It would not even be close. It's a shame. But no, none of that. And nor do I want that kind of drama and stuff that's attached with it. You know, I don't understand the membership thing because you don't get anything for it. It's really just empty calories. You know, become a member of my channel and get an emoji. All right. Well, what else do I get? Oh, when we do something really controversial or sad, you can watch it later. All right. And there's that, I guess. But that's really, you know, so no pay to play. We're going to be taking out the super chats. You guys will just enjoy the show and hopefully each other's company. You know, that's the whole idea. What if they got any new Omegas in? I do love myself a good new Omega. Let's see. We might have got a new summer blue in. I didn't remember seeing that up there. Maybe not. No, same stuff. Yeah, a new creamsicle for $7,100. You still have the first Omega in space. Tad bit small for me, but a beauty nonetheless. They got some of the new Seamasters in. Yeah, good stuff. Check them out. Especially if you're looking for an Omega, an Oris, or a Zodiac. They have good stuff. They do have good stuff. But no, we won't be doing any pay-per-views or anything like that. We just want to bullshit and do our normal thing. You know, we start off with, you know, what do? We start off with my breakfast. We move into some watches, some NFL, NHL, whatever happens to be going on, NASCAR, Formula One, whatever seems to be happening. Don't do a lot of soccer talk just because I don't really follow it. Don't do a lot of NBA talk because, again, I don't really follow it. Yeah, how we're feeling, how we treat each other, and we should treat each other with respect. I think I said, good effort, Lucha. Straight back to work. Good people hard to find. Yeah, hard to find people to go to work these days. It's hard out there. Hiring is hard. Very happy to be back to work. It's very exciting stuff. Really like the place and the people that I work with. So the one bummer is one guy that I liked. He's not there anymore. But I got to reach out to him, see what's going on in his little part of the world. But again, you know, like I always tell you, say something nice to someone, do something nice for someone, be the light you would like to see shining from others. That's how you make true change in the world. You know, if you know, you know. Oh, let's see. What do we got here? I'm looking at, well, first I want to look at this watch because it looks like it might be a cool looking watch. Let me share this tab. This is the Laurent Ferrier Classic Traveler Globe Night Blue. That's kind of a cool looking watch. We know that our friend George Voorhees is a big LF fan. It's kind of got the globe on there. Interesting date combination. Yeah, it's kind of cool. The center portion is made of gold and convex in shape to enhance the globe-esque feel further and generally draw your eye. All 5 continents and oceans are depicted in deep blue and deep blue enamel, respectively, using the classic Champleva technique. Micro rotor. I like, there's a lot of Laurent Ferriers that I like. I think they just do a nice job with their watches. You know, that they price is 90,000 Swiss francs. Damn. Look at that. It's kind of cool. So it's depicted to show the globe from space with the lighting, the lights that are on. So you can see where the lights are on and where the lights are. What's going on up there, Canada? You don't have enough lights. You're not using enough energy. How are we ever supposed to warm the globe and warm you guys up if you refuse to turn on the lights? Devin G says, I mean, at a certain point, it's not a watch. It's art. It's true. It's true. It's kind of cool, though. I like LF a lot, too. I'm not crazy about this one, though. It's different. It's a different way of doing it. That's what I liked about it. Oh, geez. I don't know what this story is about, but I have a Plymouth Prowler story, so we're going to show it. This is on Worn and Wound. That is a Plymouth Prowler. Those were 3.5 liter V6 engines. They had like a little trailer that they made for those to store stuff in. I think that's for a few years in the early 2000s. I remember we got these special edition, these two dark blue ones in. And a guy walked in one day. He just walked in. It was this. That's the original purple one. Yeah, I don't know really what this story is about. 6 Prowlers set to hit the auction block. It was a cool looking car. It wasn't super fast or anything. Just kind of a 6-cylinder roadster. Damn, Kyle D. We were just talking about Winnipeg. It's shorts weather today at 23 degrees Fahrenheit. Feels like 10. Jeez. It was cold here all week. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. God bless you. So we had a guy come in. We had 2 of these Prowlers. We had one of them on the showroom, and the guy was he just fell in love with the car. And when they first came out, they were hot, and they were going for like 15 grand over a window sticker, you know. But then they had kind of fallen off. We were just trying to get rid of them. So this guy, he's all over this car, and he's with one of my salespeople, and he's like, "Well, what can you do on this car?" And meanwhile, we were just trying to get rid of it because I had a twin to it. So we needed to move it was the blue one. I can't remember what it was called, Tuxedo Edition, maybe. And so I said, look, my job is to get you as close to this number as possible. And he goes, what number is that? I said, window sticker. These things go for big money. And he was just falling all over the car. He just couldn't believe it. He'd never seen one before. And I ended up selling the car for about $5 grand over. And he was ecstatic. He was ecstatic with it. Evan G says the Prowler was Plymouth's swan song. Yeah. They shuttered the brand shortly afterwards. Super cool, though. Like 215. Yeah, it's a 3.5, 215 horsepower V6. Super lightweight. It was a quick little thing, and it was cool looking. It was different. And it was, it was just it's like when somebody does something different on a watch, like, oh, that's different. Well, sometimes you like it. You know, you may not like it long term, but it was kind of cool. How is Evan G doing? Dingo says he's putting off going to work. Going to be a rough area up near Brisbane. There you go. Be careful, Dingo Dave. The fish need you to come home. They love when Dave comes home. Chilling before working out later. Cool. Very cool. What's the temperature like in Colorado these days? It was weird. Just like 10 days. It was just cold. Oof. bone chilling cold. Getting down to single digits at night, kind of in the teens, light breezes that made it feel even worse. A lot of like every morning it seemed like you woke up to like an annoying inch of snow. It's gonna snow. Don't just give me an inch to clean up every day. That's just annoying. There's further proof that we need to warm up the globe. The globe is not warm enough. Temperature swing just got out of a cold snap, looking at 60s and 50s for the next week or so. Yeah, we're supposed to be up 30s, 40s, I think into the low 50s for a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. That'll definitely be fun. Bust out the polos. I got a bunch of new polos. They do monogram polos at the new dealership. So I'll get those all cleaned up this afternoon and ready to rock when it gets warm enough for those. That's always fun. But I have no idea if they talked about any watches in this article. All I saw were Prowler pictures. It's, yeah. Thanks, Warren Wound, for bringing me down memory lane with the Prowler. But there was another article here that was speaking of George Varhees trying on the IWC on Janor. Looks like they got an article on All Wants Talk from Fratello. The Laureato 38 versus the Angenor 40. Which one would you, just based on looks, that picture right there, we have the GP Laureato versus the Angenor. Which one strikes your fancy better? I think it's hogging all the warm. Well, yes, you are. Yeah, John, I agree, John D. I'm looking forward to warmer days after this winter. We actually had a winter this year. The last few years it was a little warmer. We didn't have as many cold spells with much snow, but this year we actually had winter. I agree 100%. I actually like the Angenor, but we'll continue to beat the dead horse that the price is way too high for what you get. Yep. Yeah. It's expensive for what you're getting. But let's see what these guys think of this watch. Hold on, close a couple tabs so we don't get jammed up. Let's see. It's something again. Why do we have the new Omega? There was a Laureato. It's confession time for me, Mike. In the past, I've expressed my love for Gerald Genta's Angenor on multiple occasions. We wrote a long article about why the classic Angenor, reference numbers, is so much more than just a watch. It's a personal story connected to my dad's career as a mechanical engineer, which gives the watch so much more significance than many others. Dun, dun. There's somebody. He's talking about the Angenor, and they're putting pictures of the Laureato. I like the look of the Laureato. I like the look of the Angenor. I hate the price of the Angenor. I like both watches as an integrated sports bracelet watch. I've never really had a lot of hands-on experience with the Laureato. Did try on an Angenor once. A lot of pictures of Laureato. Laureato does have the open case back, which we know that I love, with what appears to be an 18-karat rose gold rotor. Very nice. And then the Angenor. A little plainer. I might like the bracelet a little better on the Angenor. Doesn't look quite as bulky. Maybe a little bit better taper. Very classic design. Closed case back, which I don't like as much. I like an open case back. I want to see the damn shit. Feels like the Engineer deserves a 6,000 to 7,000 price point. Unsure. Yeah, I agree 100% there. Yeah, even 8. Yeah, even 7 to 8. I agree. Would sold like hot cakes, but for 11 to 12, just buy a date just. Yep. Indeed, this year it's been genuine winter, cold days, and plenty of snow to remind us last year wasn't really a proper season. Yes. Timmy has an Engineer now. God bless him. He says, I don't know, I don't like the Laureato. I get that they're all GMT, but it looks like he just took some of the unfinished Royal Oak drawings and threw something together. I get that. The Engineer, I like the Engineer. I don't understand the pricing of the Engineer. The Laureato, I've never been hands-on one once. I really don't know much about it. Is the Laureato a butterfly clasp as well? Did they show the clasp? Did I miss it? I mean, they showed enough damn pictures of it, but I don't see anything. I think all these watches, including my beloved Aquaterras, would do better with a sport clasp. The round bezel versus the shaped bezel is the biggest, hugest differences I see between the two. I don't know. I don't mind either one. Let's see where that picture was of both of them again. Yeah. I don't hate either one. I don't love the Engineer enough for the pricing of it. It just seems extreme. I mean, their time only pilot watches are like 5,500, add 1,500 for the full bracelet, and that's a great watch. Yeah, like a Mark 20 you can pick up for 6,100. Is that retail in it watch on a bracelet? On a really cool bracelet too. The bracelet on the Mark 20 has the micro adjust built into the pusher and the clasp. It has that thing where you can take the individual links out real easy with a simple tool. It's really cool. But the Engineer, I don't think has that. But yeah, I think it's 6,100, 61 or 6,300 for an IWC Mark 20. And that's with the new movement, with the 100 meters worth of water resistance. I just think it's a good watch for the money, whereas this one seems to be expensive. IWC is taking the JLC sales approach to setting their prices, expecting Joe's shop to be their primary customer. Yeah. This watch was, and the other problem with the Engineer was they didn't get them out. They introduced it, got everybody all fired up at the time when they could have sold them, they weren't available to be sold. So when everybody was talking about it 2 years ago, Watches and Wonders and going crazy for it, it was like a year before they were getting into the stores. I probably can't have a display case to design a resistant magnetism. Yeah, I get it. There's other ways there's better ways to resist magnetism. Ask Omega. I'm kind of stuck in this mindset that almost every mid-tier watch belongs in the same price range, 5 to 7K. Oreo, with silicone escapements, you don't have to encase the movement anymore. And there's only a couple components that make a watch susceptible to magnetism. Yeah, I mean, you could literally sit. I mean, you wouldn't want to but this watch could be in an MRI. It's good to 15,000 Gauss, and it has an exhibition case back. It is more anti-magnetic than the Engineer. Doc Mick in Florida, good to see you. Doc, we traded in the Curse watch on the Oreo. But I got a really good deal on the watch. I got a really good trade-in, so maybe the holy water did work in making it a better deal, a better purchase experience. And it says because that's where they should be, 5 to 7 grand. BOM for these can't be more than like 6,800. Add some for marketing, other stuff, and even 30% profit margin should be 7K. Yeah, that's expensive. I mean, the retail on this thing is 8,700. They gave me 1,750 off, so I bought it a little under 69.50. So, yeah. This is good to 600 meters of water resistance. It has a GMT function, has a super cool black and white ceramic bezel, an exhibition case back, and a coaxial escapement with the quickset hour hand and the double barrel escapement, the coaxial escapement. IWC aren't willing to take the risk. They reinvigorated a design that everyone was asking for years, and they didn't make just in case. Nobody actually bought them. Yeah. But again, part of the problem, the hype around this watch was huge when they announced it. It was everywhere, except your authorized dealers and boutiques. Couldn't buy them. They just didn't make them. Like, they showed it, but didn't make it. It was very strange. Dr. Mick says, love the Oreo too. Yeah, the Oreo is cool. They should have taken an Econ 101 and learned that lower prices equal more demand. Yeah. I don't understand the pricing on this. I don't understand why you think that is an $11,000 watch. It just doesn't seem like an $11,000 watch. I can see where you hope it is, but I don't see the actual reality of that. You know, some of these brands and their pricing, and then you see what you can buy a lot of these watches for. Even the Defy Skyline that I had. I bought that year old for almost half price of a new one. That's crazy. I have 3 vintage Omega GMTs, black, great white, and blue. Nice. You have to share pictures. Having risk equals reward. I don't think I didn't see the prices at 7,000 they would have cleaned up. I think they would have done better if it was cheaper. I obviously think their brand is worth more than it is. Richemont got high on their own supply when people were buying their garbage to get on the Rolex wait list. Well, that's a lot of the problem with some of these watches. Like if your AD had IWC or anything really, you could get a little purchase history at your preferred authorized dealer. People were, and that really drove. I think it really skewed what people think their watches are worth. The added price just seems like self-indulgence. If you're on the right cost of production profits, even Rolex needs to be back down to reality. Not worth the premium. Well, I think people are starting to see that because they're not doing the super premium prices that they were. Yippers, I just want my day before they get even more expensive. Then I'm out. Unless something more enticing shows up. Of course. Are we ever really out? Tough call. But is it it's not the heyday, obviously. I don't know. I mean, what are you going to sell? If you needed to get out of that on Janor, what are you going to get for it? That's what I'm curious about. Because I remember, they were supposed to be so hot, and then they were showing up on Nashville Watch for like 1,000 under retail, unworn. Where does it really go from there? Jeez, you probably have to pay someone to take the Ingenue from you. Milgauss is happy. Be happy with a Milgauss. All right. The other sales manager at work has a Milgauss. He has a black Dow Milgauss, and he bought it because something went askew with his prior date with the date wheel, and they serviced it, and then he just traded it in. He said he didn't want to date anymore. There's always something else to add to the collection, Evan. Can't just stop at one, like Doritos or a cookie. You're getting another one. It's unfortunately a very addictive hobby. And even if you're not looking at something expensive, it seems like you're always looking at something. At least I am. I'm always like, oh, that's a cool looking watch. It's only $1,000. I've had to stop myself from buying more $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 watches here lately than anyone could ever imagine. I missed one. Johnny, I actually really like the tag glass box. I think after I get my day date, I'm going to start looking at all those watches I couldn't justify before. I like those glass box watches. I think they've come out with some super cool designs on some of those. I agree. I just can't decide whether I want a day date or a Daytona full gold, proper full gold, not that 9-carat Omega Swatch Group shitter gold. Brian's gone. You don't have to say Swatch Group shitter anymore. Yeah, proper gold, but yeah, Daytona's small though. That's the only problem with it. It is a tiny watch. Yeah, most recent 14% price hike on PM Daytonas is a punch in the gut. Brian is still lurking. Shitter! Oh, shit. Orca says the cheaper watches add up real fast. Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's why I've had to force myself not to buy a few. I'm a sucker for the colorful 41 millimeter Nami timers. Yeah, that ice blue one is beautiful. Love that watch. I have a two-tone Daytona, and I'm happy with that. So I'm leaning towards the Day-Date white gold with the blue fumade out. That's a beautiful watch. Watch that one. Is an absolute stunner. What size would you get? There's lots of fascinating vintage in here. Just grabbed a second execution 69-2448 and in gold. The glass box is a great new option, but where's tall on the wrist? It's not tall. Oh my God. What is the height of that watch? Like 14, 13? It's not tall. That's tall. 17. Come on, get with the program. Don't worry, Brian. Watch what gotcha. Evan says, don't get me started on the new bronze gold Seamaster. We were looking at that earlier. I like the design, but it needs to be 2 millimeters. No, it needs to be thicker. It's not thick enough. What part of this do you guys not understand? We want this show is titled Double Stuff Oreo. Why? Because I bought a big, thick, chunky monkey of a watch. Nicknamed the Oreo. $41. I don't think the Fume comes on the 36. Cool. Well, at least the proper size watch. And now Brian is gone again. Oh, speaking of which, did anybody see they changed the name of the channel again? Every once in a while, just change it up. I think since I use that Lucha Underground stuff, since they're no longer around, we changed it to Luchabetic Underground. There is a tallish, and then there's a mega. You have like a Sprinter van, taller than it is wide. Exactly. I love a good tall watch. I like wrist presence. I actually like big watches. Luchabetic Underground. Well, I get fit. Where are we at on our upvotes? I haven't checked that in a while. Jeez, oh Pete. I'm behind in my duties. 25. 25 upvotes. I would have thought we would have been closer to 30. I thought that. But evidently, I was incorrect. It happens. I'm not afraid to say that I can be wrong and or make a mistake. The crystals on vintage are not as robust, but the movements are. So if you're fearful of the movement breaking, don't be. But damaging the crystal mineral glass is genuine. Yes. But this, excuse me, those glass bars, they've just come out with some cool designs. Even though it's most of them are 39s, but they've come out with some really cool looking stuff. I applaud Tag for getting back into watches and not just fashion looking watches. They actually are moving the needle a bit. Come on, what's wrong with these people? Upvote. It's free. Yes, and the channel is free. And again, don't hit I gotta unwind the monetization, but do not hit the super chat button. I am begging you, do not super chat. I am anti-grifting. All right. If you need a super chat, go somewhere where they want them. Go see, go buy Tim another Engineer. That's a lot of super chats. If you bought an Engineer, it's an $11,000 watch. Kudos. Those old Valjoux 72 watches are a dime a dozen. You just have to get a watchmaker that doesn't charge extra for service because it's old. True. Doc Mick upvoted. Thank you, sir. That's the only thing we care about. Subscribe and upvote. Where else are you going to get riveting free content? Doc Mick says, just don't give money to O'Sheen. Yes, we care. Yeah, don't do that. Don't unless you're entertained, don't give any money to anybody. If you're entertained by what's happening, go ahead and give them money. Like I said, this channel, there's 3 wrenches. We're demonetizing, and we're just gonna be straight whatever we have to be talking about. I think that's fun, fair, and better. And no memberships. I don't understand the memberships. I don't see. There are memberships, there are channels that have extra stuff or early peeks at videos or stuff like that. But in general, what are you getting? Emojis. John D says, "How New York City vintage watch repair guy, $250 for movement servicing," which I think is great for the old stuff. Yeah. And if that's for a chronograph service, Evan says, that's super cheap. That's what most places charge for just time only. That looks like time only. I'm not serviced chrono yet. Last vintage 74 Benrose time only was $250. Cool. It's good to find. Well, yeah, it's twofold. You don't want to get raked over the coals on your price, but you also want to find someone you can trust with your timepiece that will do it right. There's a guy that I like that, will do things. He's a good guy here in Pittsburgh. If you're in the Pittsburgh area, head over to Ross Park Mall. There's a guy there, a legitimate watchmaker. It does good stuff. There's a guy out of Joyce's. Those guys are great. Their watchmakers, cool, nice guy, and does seem to do good work. I don't know about pricing or anything, but he does a hell of a job on a bracelet. I know that. But on the screen is after I picked up the watch and had lunch at my favorite 50-year-old 1950s vintage Italian restaurant. I walked into the market district and I saw the Oreos and took a bunch of pictures of my watch on Oreos. People were looking at me like I was insane. People who noticed were just like, what the hell is this weirdo doing? Taking pictures of that watch on those cookies. What are you going to do? That was kind of a cool idea. Yeah, I thought the pictures came out for just taking quick pictures in a supermarket aisle with my iPhone. I thought they came out pretty good. Thought they came out pretty good. Newsflash from Orco, you are insane. We all are. Yes. Now, these people were looking at me like I was absolutely insane. They were just like, because they were kind of on the end of towards the end of the aisle. So as people would walk behind me and they would just still be looking at what I was doing as they were walking to the next aisle. And I was just like, you don't understand that the nickname of the watch is the Oreo. It's a big, thick, chunky watch, so it's double stuff Oreos. And I didn't even realize, I don't think I ever looked before because, being a type 1 diabetic, it's not often I run to the Oreo section to buy cookies. I don't think I ever realized that they only use one F in stuff. See the things you discover? If it wasn't for watches, I might have lived my whole life thinking there were two Fs in stuff when it comes to Oreos. In fact, I might have thought that they were stuffed. I might have put an extra F and an ED in there. ED, whoops. We'll have to see what that costs, Evan. London Jewelers was going to charge me around your estimates when I merely asked them. But the vintage spot in New York City is a good one for cheaper. Nice. And the whole watch community, in fact, we are all lunatics. We are indeed the lunatic fringe. Dingo Dave reminds us it's the middle of the night in Australia. And what is he doing? He's watching the Lucha Underground. So I figured that since I was going to demonetize the channel, I might as well change the name and actually fit the intros that I use with the Lucha Underground a little better. And we won't have the baggage of the money. Oh, people go crazy about the money and the super chats and the memberships and first and foremost, entertain me. If you want some of my money, I think that should be the way. I think that's the wave of the future. Entertain me. Dingo Dave says, Lucha, those that know. Doc Mick says, why are you demonizing? Well, I'm trying to anti-demonize, as we saw, getting rid of the curse watch for the Oreo, but we are demonetizing. We're just going to take the channel back to its roots. We renamed it the Lucha Underground, and we're going to just get back to just having fun. I just want to have fun. I want to stream. I just want to have fun. I don't want to be yelled at. I don't want to be talked down to. I don't want to be. I don't want to be told, well, you can't watch this if you're not a member. I don't want to be, you know what I mean? I just want to have fun. I want to talk about watches, cars, food, football, hockey, whatever we want to talk about. Logan Hall's Grill Streams. Late to start for me. Good to see you, though. Always. Yes. New name and demonetized. Yeah, I'll be demonetizing the channel afterwards. I didn't get to do it this morning. Making breakfast, feeding the animals, all the good stuff. I just, I feel blessed to have a job, to be able to afford watches, and to have people that would like to come on a Sunday morning and chat with me about them. Those are all good things, and I think the monetization takes away from that. And the money's not going to anything. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's one thing if you're doing a charity stream, but the just in general, I don't know. Let's see. M&G Light on Fire. Good way to put it. I keep using the servicing costs of my purchase decision making when pricing vintage options, just in case I have to light money on fire, as you put it. Yes. Doc Nick says, good for you. Well, thanks. Yeah, we're just going to be us doing our thing, talking about what we talk about for free. Because it's not like I'm, I park bench for the most part. So it's not like I'm putting in a lot of effort to create content. The content on this channel is generally where the chat takes us. And I don't think the chat should have to pay for us to take us somewhere, if that makes sense. We should just be able to chat. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to talk about the stuff that we love and not charge anybody. And part of it was, when I lost my job, I didn't realize I'd be back to work as soon as I was, but I started looking at things. Oh, I got ripped off too. I gotta check. Did they do anything with that? Oh my God, my debit card got phished. And I was in a supermarket in Pittsburgh, and I stopped at a gas station, and afterwards, and in between that time, 8 or 7 charges of $180. I'm not sure if they're yeah, it was a store, something called Fred Meyer Grocery Stores in Portland, Oregon. 7 at $180 and 1 at $172.33. They got me for $1,400, and I think it was $1,433.82 or something like that. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I saw it, and I saw it purely by accident. So when I came home and I put away the groceries, I had to go to the bathroom, and the cats were buzzing around, and I bumped my thumb on my PNC app on my phone, and when I looked down, it was doing the facial recognition, and I'm like, why does my balance seem lower than it should be? So then I clicked on it, and there were all these pending charges. So then I got a hold, online of the PNC people. We can't do anything until they post. I'm like, but they're pending. Can't you stop them now? It's literally just is happening or just happened. What a nightmare. So then I have to go into PNC Monday morning. I have to get a new debit card. I have to get a and they're like, yeah, don't use your debit card, use your credit card. I'm like, really? Don't use the card for what its purpose is. All right, that's your answer. But I had to get a new debit card, had to reset everything, and then they still hadn't posted. So then the next day, the dude at the bank was actually really cool, young kid, but he called me exactly when he said the next 10 o'clock the next morning, and he was like, look, he was able, like, if I did it online, I had to do them all individually. he was able to lump them into one group setting. And what a nightmare. What a nightmare. Evan G says Fred Meyer is Kroger, the rat bastards. Yeah, 180, 180. Yeah, and I'm on the chat with the PNC people. I'm like, you can obviously see that I just physically used my card twice in Pittsburgh. And I am not in Oregon. And these charges are pending, and you can't stop them now. It was crazy. It was crazy. I didn't like it. Well, you put in the phone holder when you get into the Ute. Yeah. Well, the one thing I learned is tap and don't put your PIN in, which is just old guy habit from me. You know, you have to be careful. I switch over to a credit card and just have the bank auto pay the balance every month. Yeah, because yeah. That's what he said. Well, you should just use a credit card. I'm like, well, you're saying I shouldn't use the debit card that you give me for its intended purpose? It's very confusing to me. I have all my accounts notify me when any money leaves the account. Most of mine have a thing on that. The PNC one used to do that. I don't know if I have to. I should call that dude again on Monday. You ask him about that. I guess it was it Thursday that happened? I'm getting my weekend thing. Yeah. It was Wednesday night. Thursday, I got the new debit card. Friday, we did the thing. And he said it could take 45 days for me to get my money back, which is dumb. That's it. I'm monetizing the channel again. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. And it was even more noticeable. You know, had they done it 2 or 3 times and I had just still been working, I might not even noticed. You know what I mean? Like if I had the normal income coming in. You got 12 to 15 years in service there. Well, damn, unless you're having timekeeping issues. Evan says, use a credit card because you're playing with the bank's money if you get skimmed. If you're using a debit card, you're playing with your money. Yeah, that's basically what the guy told me. Was a bummer. That was a bummer. That's what I said, Billy. 45 days. That's crazy. I would change banks. Yeah, here's the other thing. So when I was talking to the kid, the guy's like, "Oh wow!" I said, "What's that?" He said, "You've been a PNC Bank customer since 1989." I'm like, "Yeah, I have this exact account." And you can see I don't come in here every other week saying, "Hey, someone stole money from me," trying to pull one over on you guys. But I am. It depends on he said 3 to 45 days. So I'm going to see what they do, how fast this is, and what the process is, and I may end up switching banks. Just annoying. It's just annoying. So modern watches, they tend to do surface hardening on the pivot, so preventative maintenance is more relevant. Vintage, the parts were fully hardened. See, the stuff I learned, that's why I love Evan G and John D in the chat. I learned shit from these guys. I have to look at the collection and see what may be over the 10-year mark. And there are surely a few. Yeah, Omega does really good. They repair very vintage pieces and use original parts, which is awesome. I love the old Omega copper plated movements. See, shit, I don't even know. And I run a watch freaking YouTube channel. These guys teach me. Why would I charge them? You see what I'm saying? This whole monetization thing is backwards. I learn more from you. But I do appreciate some upvotes. We need one more for 30. Or there's got to be one more person out there that hasn't hit the like button. And keep in mind, 2 of those upvotes are me. 2 are mine. We shall see. We shall see. What else is going on out there in the world? Anything? Anybody have any fun, happy stories. Better stories than mine. That was a bad story. Getting ripped off. The caliber 700 series movements. Absolute stars. Some people depend on YouTube. Oh, yeah. I mean, if it's your job, that's one thing. But, I got a gerb. So, I mean, I appreciate, especially when I wasn't working, it was nice to get a little bit of money from YouTube. But it's in the end of the day, it's not why I do this show. I do this show to engage with you guys. Hopefully you like it. Apparently you do, because it's always somewhere between 250 and 1,000 people will watch a show, when I get when I look at the numbers. So somebody must like it. But the new name is definitely the Luchabetic Underground. It's going to be non-monetized, and it fits in better with this. Asked Omega New York City to look at my 58 Seamaster, and they assured me the hands would be swapped out like the Rolex clowns do. So didn't bring that one to them for the Swiss spa treatment. Interesting. Now, what was the caliber? Omega Caliber 700 is what I wanted to look up. Let's go to images. Oh. Hold on. Here's someone selling a slim 700 movement itself. Would this be the movement in question, M&D? That is what's called a slim Omega 700, 17 joules, 2 adjustment watch movement for parts. Pretty cool. My dog was delirious yesterday. I think he had the flu. I took him to the emergency room. They gave him a liter of saline and some Tylenol. He's much better. Oh, I hope he's doing better. My dog is just goofy and blind and fat and lazy. But I love him. He's amazing. When Omega still made their own movements, they used to copper plate them all the way till the 80s when Swatch was formed and they started moving to ETA. Interesting. Is this one of these movements? This looks copper. That has a copper-esque look to it. See if I can find another example. What is this? This guy's selling a bunch of movements. Interesting. Looks like somebody's selling fake movements. Yeah, those are workhorse movement for a long time. Kind of cool. I think it was a 561 or 591 movement. Cuckoo. Interesting. Yeah, it's a pretty movement. The copper is cool. Speaking of dogs, there's Sherman the blind double dapple dachshund. Boom. Anyway, this is nerd shit. Sherman said it looks cool. Oh, wait. You can't see what it looks like. Damn it. Sherman, you and your blindness. What a cute, fat double dapple dachshund. He's becoming lazy as shit. I don't know whether to get another dog, so he needs to move around more. Get him another pal. I've got Mom here. I know she would hate another dog right now. Decisions. What do you do? What's a lucha to do? I'm a simple lucha with real world problems. But that's the Shermanator. He's the best. He was born with microphthalmia, small eye syndrome. That's why his eyes are so tiny. But it's his eyes have although tiny, and my vet thinks the one eye he can see a little bit of light out of, the left eye, but he no pain and didn't have to have the eyeballs removed, which was kind of cool. So we didn't have to go down that path. But look at this beauty. So things that I like better about this watch than the creamsicle. Billy, thank you. He's I tell him every day that it's a shame that he has no idea how handsome he is. But he is a big fat bag of potatoes. The things that I like about the Oreo versus the creamsicle. GMT, I could literally take or leave. This was not about the GMT portion of the watch. I don't mind it, but the GMT bezel in black and white. So this is the first execution of a black and white ceramic bezel for a watch. Omega did it first. And there's no bleed over. They just did a really nice job with it. It is a 120 click bezel. So it can be used as a dive timer, although it wouldn't be ISO certified because it does go bidirectionally, because it is also a GMT bezel. I like the glossy enamel or ceramic black dial. The Arabics, the 1269, I prefer in the high polish to the orange. Gives me more shiny bits. Plus, they add it. So not only do I have the applied Omega and logo, I have the applied GMT. So even more shiny bits. And I just overall, I think, Orco's right. The Oreo is much more versatile of a watch wear-wise, for outfits and colors, and so it pretty much goes with anything. It's black and white, it's like a black and white cookie on Seinfeld, or an Oreo, but it's just got enough shiny bits, and I can't tell you how much I love this black and white bezel. Like, what's my complaint with the Pepsi? I don't know that the blue and the red go well with the black. Well, the black and the white definitely goes with the black. And I like, that's why I kind of skew towards like the Guinness, the Bruce Wayne, the Batman, Batgirl kind of thing. When people ask about Rolex GMTs. But the other thing is, I just, yeah. Well, M&G, I get to try on your Guinness when you had it. That was a great watch. Good look at it, and that's a great looking watch. The whole combination works. And M&G says, the Pepsi looks like a toy watch for childish people. It's bright. The bezel's bright, and it really, you have to match it with the red and blue. If you want to match your outfits and stuff. Whereas this, I think, is sort of universal. And it pops. It just pops in the light. It's really a good looking watch. And it's my size, I prefer bigger. When I measured this, it measured out at 43 and a half. It's 49.2 lug to lug, 21 millimeters between the lugs. And I measured it at 17.3 in thickness. They say 17.1 on the website, but hey, who might argue? The cursed creamsicle is gone, and I got a deal. I made money, on that watch. I got $17.50 off of this watch. I was very happy with the deal. He crumbled up and threw that shit away a long time ago. Yes, I like this one more too. I think it's more versatile. It's less jarring of a color effect, and it is it just, I don't know, it works. And the black and white bezels, so these pictures do not do it justice. I have other ones here that I took of it. The pictures really don't do it true justice, but it's just so nice. The black and white bezel is really, really cool. And a better picture of the bezel. And ceramic, it's just a really cool watch. It's thick. Yeah, I mean, it's not for the faint of wrist. But look at the applied Arabics, indices, Omega logo, GMT. Those are all high polish, so you get the little glint of light off of them. That's cool, that I always like. And the bezel's the star of the show, though. I will say that. The bezel is definitely the star of the show. Got the little zirconium oxide insigniation that the Ollie hates, that I love. Doc Mick says he loves the Pepsi. Congrats. Thanks, Kyle D. Congrats. New job, new watch. Buckley is proud. There you go. There you go. Did you buy it at the new boutique? Buy it new at the boutique? I bought it new at the AD. So there's one AD left. They're about almost an hour from my house. Choices Jewelers. I recommend them highly. At a boutique, I wouldn't have gotten, if they would have taken a trade, I wouldn't have gotten $17.50 off. I got a deal. I got a really good deal. Now I've sent them a few customers, and we bullshit, so I'm sure they helped me out a little bit just from that. But I felt more than comfortable with the deal. I thought it would be at least $1,000 more out of pocket in my mind when I was setting up scenarios. When you ask something, you're like, all right, well, what would I be willing to pay for that watch if I did it? Would it, And it just, it was a good deal. It was a better deal than what I had in mind. It was the watch itself. The pictures, like I said, just really don't do it justice. But you have to, and again, I know I make fun of small wrists and stuff, but you have to have a decent sized wrist for this one. And you have to be comfortable wearing something heavy and thick. Because it's also like, I think, 230 grams fully length. Look at that sucker. Just a beauty. That I need to moisturize my arm. My God. What a heck of a piece. Orco says, I think this is a home run, Lynch. Yeah, it clicks a lot of boxes for me. So what does it click? It clicks dive watch. It clicks big dive watch. It clicks GMT or functionality, like complication. It clicks GMT bezel watch, because I think I don't think anybody buys a GMT because they definitely want to they want to take they want to have multiple time zones on their watch. I think most people never even set their GMT watches. What people like about GMT watches are the bezels, the bezels, and this one has a really cool bezel. And not only does it have the 24-hour scale on it, it's bidirectional. It's got a satisfying click, and it's 120 click bezel. It's more like a dive watch, and the way it clicks, it just goes both ways. but very nice clicks. And I prefer the Plain Ocean bezel to the scallop bezel on the SMP 300. What about Pussy Galore, aspirational for most men, or Magnum Piano? Come on now, those are cool Pepsis. Pussy Galore did indeed wear a Pepsi. It also clicks wrist skyscraper statue. Yes, exactly. Also clicks big chunky watch. Saves me from having to buy a James Cameron Deep Sea because it's almost as wide and probably just as tall. Yeah, I like the look of the Guinness, but I hated that you have to set the date with the jump hour. It was a pain to rotate in and out. Yeah. Made me either want to wear it or never want to wear it. Now, but it's of the GMTs, the Bruce Wayne and the Guinness are my favorite bezels. That black and gray. I think it goes with anything, and that's important too. But the jump hour hand, I don't mind it because it's actually one of my favorite complications. In that I got, excuse me, I just have always enjoyed that as a complication. I'm not a big quick set date guy, so, but I am more apt to fly to Vegas or somewhere and just need to change the time, and it's nice to be able to do it with one hand. And the date is always within a couple days, so it's not that big of a deal to change it. And it's only 12 changes. You don't have to do 20. It's not like the minute hand going around twice. You just clicking the hour hand around. But I learned that watches are lame, so I sold them all. Going back to sundials. Nice. Telling time on my phone. But also, and they know I love these, so they saved it for me. I got the clamshell with it, which I think is cool. I love the clam. I don't know why I love the clamshell. I don't know why that's, to me, is a cool thing to get that you don't normally get with a watch. I mean, it's just a freaking cardboard box. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing. It's not like it's anything special. It's cool. It's cool to have it. Why do I like it? Why am I such a watch nerd? What happened to me? What did my parents do that made me this way? Caldi reminds us that the Mayans were the shit. Bring back the sundial in 2025. Let's make the sundial great again. If you believe hard enough that time is whatever you say. Yes, as our dear friend, time is a human construct would remind us, I'm sure. Take my big ugly face off there. There you go. But the Oreo is the shiz. A cool watch. Big watch, but a cool watch. Devastatingly good looking watch. And again, I apologize. My pictures have not done this thing justice. I wasn't even showing you the pictures I thought I was showing you. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, that bezel is really cool. There's really good depth from the crystal to the dial. No Cyclops. Cool hands. All those arrow hands. The applied Omega and the applied GMT is cool. The highly polished 1269 is preferable to the orange. The only thing this doesn't have, the only advantage of the creamsicle was the loomed bezel. But I can live without that. Because this is in the daytime when most people would be looking at your watch, a better looking piece. Look at that bezel. Look at it. It's beautiful. Guys, we are coming up on 3 hours. So if anybody has a topic or something they would like to talk about, now would be the time to let us know. Otherwise, we're going to get ready to wind down. And remember, I appreciate you guys coming by, and the super chat button will be disappearing as we do the anti-Curly. Curly is going all in on the grift. I am demonetizing the channel. We renamed it the Lucha Underground. If you know, you know. And if you just want to come chat watches, food, hockey, I don't care. We'll talk nerd stuff if we have to. I still want to get Evan on. We haven't done a pen show in forever. Still think we need to talk about pens every once in a while. Football, whatever. Cars, I don't care. Whatever, you guys are the show. I can't stress that to you enough. I do this to chat with you guys to have fun, not as a way to make money. And hopefully everybody gets something out of it. But I think to that end, demonetizing the channel is the way to go. But I started talking about I got onto the bank thing. So when I lost the job, I started looking hard at like where's all the money going to, and I found all these subscriptions to things. I'm like, why am I subscribing? Some of the stuff I don't even watch or look at or do, and then I'm like, well, what do I really get for subscribing to some of these channels? So a lot of them, nothing, So I'm limiting what I'm subscribed to people to value. If it's just an emoji, well, there's no value in that. If you do like if you have a charity stream, I always donate to those. I'm always good about that, but it doesn't mean I need to subscribe every month. Let's see. I've been hunting down a Pillington Gibbs Helio chronometer in good condition for some time now. Fascinating piece of time, Kate. All right, I'm game. Let me get through the chat here real quick. Fight the power more. Yeah, why not? It's all about the talking, you guys. That's it. No Second Amendment talk though. That almost got your channel banned. Yeah, we can't. Well, you can talk about it. You just can't show it. Pull it up. Yes, I will. The Pillington Gibbs Helio chronometer. This sounds like a heck of a way to go out. Pilkington Gibbs Limited Prestige. Let's see. What the hell is this thing? It's a sundial. Hold on. Yes, I'll take your cookies. I'm wearing an Oreo, for God's sakes. Of course I'll take your cookies. Oh. Is this what we were speaking about? John D. Kyle, is this what we're looking at? Kind of cool. If you want a sundial kind of thing. Huh. It's the future of timekeeping here on the Luchabetic Underground. John D said, yes. Let me see if I can find a better picture of it. Damn. I like it, but it doesn't have a GMT hand. Ba-dum-bum. Ali Reza, always good to see you, sir. Ali Reza is my the number one spooker of my Instagram. He says, hope you're having a good show, Lucha. Just wrapping church and going to brunch with my girls. Have a good time. Take a picture of your brunch and send it on over. We'll get yours, and Muhammad Ali's on the screen next week. He likes to send me pictures of his brunch. Let's see. You rotate the higher side aperture and aim it at the sun. It has a small hole that lets light project into the luminosity, which aligns with the day, date, and hour. Pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool that we've had ways to tell time for centuries. You know? Pretty slick that we found ways to do that. I always tell people when they ask about watches, I'm like, you don't understand the basics of the technology in the thing on my wrist. It dates so far back, it's ridiculous, and yet it still works. And it even has the ability to adjust for the seasons and longitude and latitude. Yeah, I saw the east-west markings on there and some of the other pieces on there. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool old technology, you know? Like the fact that they can make something like this and make it work is kind of slick. Let's see if there's a better pictures of one. Let's see what this is. Testing a Helio chronometer. Let others tell of storms and showers. I'll only count your sunny hours. Nice. Oh, you can see a little better here in the some of the apertures and the date, the months. Looks like months in a day, hours. It's pretty slick. It's pretty slick indeed. Back in the early 1900s, Helio chronometers were all the rage for those seeking some extraordinary piece for their garden or other vista-filled location. This particular instrument was built by Pilkington and Gibbs Company of London. Only about 1,000 of these were made by the company. Sadly, much of the brass was melted down to support the war effort in making artillery shells. Huh. You're testing it with a compass. So there's your month and day. Huh. Pretty slick. Pretty slick. There's your longitude, latitude spinnings. Well, that's kind of an interesting way to end the stream, I think. The problem with normal fixed sundials is they don't adjust with the Earth's elliptical orbit, so they're not accurate with the exception of the solstices. Same problem with analemmetic sundials. Interesting. Pretty slick. Yeah, I can imagine these are not cheap. I can definitely imagine that is the case. Dingo Dave is old technology. Patented in the early 1900s. It's like an annual calendar and clock. Very cool. Well, I had no idea they even existed. So see what I'm saying about non-monetized. I learned more from you guys. Yeah, I get just as much out of the show, hopefully, as you do. But don't forget, say something nice to someone, do something nice for someone, be the light you would like to see shining from others. And that's how we'll change the world. Anybody else got anything before we close it on out at 3 hours and 6 minutes? Where are we at on our upvotes? We hit our 30? 33. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Always nice to hit the upvotes. Hope everyone's having a great day. Ali Raza, enjoy your brunch with your girls. John D, thanks for the info there. Evan G, thanks for popping in. Thanks for the knowledge. Dingo Dave, Billy, Kyle, Logan Hall. I'm trying to think who else was in here. A bunch of Brian for coming on. It was great as always. Doc Mick in Florida. Always good to see you. Hope your dog is feeling better. What else we got? Obviously John D. Orco. All right, that's about as far back as I can go. And then we had Johnny O. We had BW. Other people in here. So, guys, thanks so much. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that anybody would come over here and listen to me babble. But again, thank you for your support. We are demonetizing. We did rename. And let's just do what we like. Talk about what we like. Disagree, agree, whatever. In a civil way. Who cares? And don't forget, let's make watches big again. It's important. It's my cause. You can't monetize for that cause. Nobody wants to hear it. But you should. There's nothing like a big-ass watch on your wrist. Right? Have a great Sunday, Monday for the Dingo Dave Down Under crowd. Peace out, Evan G. Enjoy the day and the new watch. I love the new watch. Thank you. Billy says, great show. I had a great time. Good. Thanks for coming by. Good to have everybody here. Bye-bye, Doc. And fish. Oh, we got fish eyes. All right, guys. I will see you next week. If not, if I'm bored Tuesday, maybe we'll do something. That's why you should always turn on the notifications just in case we decide to do a show in the middle. You know? Lucha better.